Do you buy vinyl?
Hi, I'm Sebastian from Death from Above, and this is What's in My Bag at Amoeba. What's in the bag? What's in the bag?
What's in the box?
What's in the bag? What's in the bag?
Who's in the
Glenn Gould, the Goldberg Variations. You know, Glenn Gould is a Toronto guy, I'm a Toronto guy, a tortured genius, virtuoso piano player, totally shreds on this, like Joe Satriani style shredding, but on piano. He was a shredder, plagued with anxiety where he perceived a concert as basically just an audience waiting for him to screw up.
En masse, I detest audiences. I think they're a force of evil.
So he ended up not performing. He stopped kind of in his prime and then just focused on weird experimental radio stuff.
I prefer rock.
I don't think we have to get ourselves
I think it's partly that the
muddy
last couple of years.
just to find out that mud is mud.
And audio experiments, and he had a show on the CBC, and he was like, OCD, wore gloves, had a special chair, all kinds of crazy things. Yeah, Glenn Gould. Crass, The Feeding of the 5000. It's hard to find Crass records on vinyl. I don't think they repress them very often. This is, a new pressing of this. And they're like kind of the perfect punk band in my mind, the way it sounds and the things that they say and the way that they live. And this will really impress my wife when I bring it home. I'll score major points with her. So that's pretty much why I bought it.
Yes, that's right. Hard case, that is just another trade for our product country mistake.
Leonard Cohen, The Future. A classic Cohen record, a later Cohen record. It's not like the classical guitar Cohen, it's the MIDI keyboard and drum machine Cohen era. I'll never forget being in the car with my father and he was playing this record, or the tape, and the lyric, "Give me crack and anal sex," came on. I thought, I don't know what those two things are, but I know that they're probably bad. Yeah, I don't think I asked him what crack and anal sex was. I probably could ask him now. And, not to be nationalistic, but also a Canadian hero. There's a great, I think it's his last interview, it's him and his son Adam. It's so beautiful to hear him speak about the record. I feel like he was surrounded by like real love at the end, so.
But I was waiting for the miracle to come.
Let's do two at once. They're both Bo Diddley records. I'm not sure if it was my father's influence, who basically was like, this is real music and the stuff that your friends are listening to is crap, but I really got into Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley when I was a kid. I'm not comparing them to The Doors, but when you listen to The Doors, you can hear what's happening. There's no confusion, the way it was recorded, the way it's performed. Such a lack of style in the production that the style of the people can come out fully. They're kind of the same kind of thing. There's this great footage of Chuck Berry, and he's like a nasty, not nasty like human, but like his music is kind of dirty, and his playing is kind of dirty and kind of out of tune sometimes, and he's got a backup band that are like kind of hoity-toity guys, and he's trying to be all like proper, like this next song.
This is a song about a man.
And blah, 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 he's trying to be all, it's cool, and then he just shreds. This is an embarrassing one. As cool as my wife is for loving this music, she also loves this music. Who's the filmmaker? Michael Apted. Do you know the 7 Up series.
In 1964, World in Action made 7 Up, and we've been back to film these children every 7 years. They are now 49.
He made a film about the making of this record, and it's beautiful because it's this great filmmaker making it. It's a great documentary filmmaker. But it's also hilarious because it's like Sting at the height of his like sort of pompousness, and he's got all these like great jazz musicians with him. And he's like, well, of course I'm a jazz man. And someone calls him Gordon in a press conference. He's like, who's Gordon? My mother calls me Sting. You know. Anyway, he's great. I love Sting. What a voice.
Believe me when I say to you, I hope the Russians love their children too.
I got into Jeff Buckley when I was 17 or 18, and he was one of those artists that seemed to be like just a well of other music, you know, because he was such a fan of music. I learned about the MC5 through Jeff Buckley and tons of bands just through his love of music, you know. I love these artists who are like James Brown. He's a creature, you know, he doesn't exist on planet Earth. That's why it was so shocking when like Cohen and Bowie died. And Prince, these are artists that they don't live on this planet, you know? And for me, when I was a kid, that was kind of Jeff Buckley. It's like, who is this guy? How does he do that thing with his voice? And then you learn that his father also did that thing with his voice. So it's this weird genetic alien that kind of like went through and unfortunately, you know, died with Jeff, this crazy voice. But yeah, it was playing and it was so beautiful, and I thought I'd like to hear that as much as I can, so I'm gonna buy it.
Our sands are shifting around.
And then the Twin Peaks score, because why not?
Were you watching the new series?
I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I was waiting for Cooper to wake up from his trance or whatever he was. I don't know how it turned out, but they kept that storyline, that Dougie storyline going for so long, and I found it so exhausting. I felt like I was being fooled somehow. And then there's this scene where someone serves him coffee, and I figured that's where he wakes up, because the coffee, it's like, it's so clear to me. This is where Dougie leaves and Cooper comes back. And it didn't happen. It was just like more of the same. I was like, fuck, come on, please.
Hi!
I'll get back to it eventually. But I mean, this music is incredible. Very emotional. It's the perfect mix of like weirdo and funny and scary and classic archetype characters and Americana and the whole thing. Come on. We don't need to explain Lynch anymore. I'm gonna enjoy this. That's it. That's what's in my bag.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.